Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and as the author of the book Migraines and Epilepsy, How to Find Relief, Live Well, and Protect Your Brain. This particular article really hits home and is very much in line with what I talk about in my book, and that is with epilepsy, there is an underlying problem with the brain, and it has everything to do with the ability of the brain to generate energy that it needs and the damage that occurs to the brain from things like oxidative stress. And lifestyle plays a huge role in oxidative stress, and one of the powerful tools that we can use to protect ourselves includes things like fasting or calorie restriction. And so this article suggests that things like calorie restriction, which fasting is a component of caloric restriction, that it increases antioxidants in the brain. And we know that. There are things that you're looking at calorie restriction for, not only for migraines, but for epilepsy, for Alzheimer's, for Parkinson's. These are powerful tools. And when we deprive our body of something, when we challenge it, whether that's short burst aerobic activity, whether that's calories, whether that's extreme cold, not necessarily extreme heat because that would kill us, but all of these things, when we challenge our body rises up and protects. So when we take in less calories, our body has to become more efficient. That means more mitochondria, more protection to our brain cells. And when we look at that, there's overall calorie restriction, which is usually not that acceptable for a lot of people to continue to eat lower amounts of calories for the rest of your life, and that's where different aspects of fasting or intermittent fasting came into play. You can do intermittent, and I've talked about this in previous videos, you can do fasting, you can do a low or no calorie day and then whatever you want the next day. So that's alternate day calorie restriction. You can do 2 or 3 days. You can do a week of fasting. There's a lot of different tools. But for me, one of my favorite ones is more of a time-restricted eating. So we're looking at having a window in the day where you don't eat. Generally, that's, I think people take it too far with the 1 meal a day concept, but I think like an 8-16 or a 6-18, if my math is correct, those seem to be pretty decent windows. For me, when I do intermittent fasting, I'll usually skip breakfast while taking in some type of like heavy cream or some type of fat to control my hunger and to stop my body from breaking down muscle mass, and then eat from like 12 to 8 or so, or 1 to 8. The bottom line is that this is yet another potential powerful tool for the brain that's never discussed by neurologists and epileptologists in managing their patients. It's almost always exclusively about the medication. And that doesn't fix anything. All we do is stop one brain cell from communicating with the other, and then we high-five each other and pat each other in the back and say we did a great job. We didn't do squat. We didn't protect the brain. We didn't make those brain cells any healthier. We just numbed them up to the point where they're not communicating with one another. And that is not, it may be a great short-term answer, but it is not the long-term answer. And that's why these people, especially with resistant seizures that do not respond to medication, like they need other tools other than continuing to numb and shut down their brain to try to stop seizures. As always, I'll post this link, the description in the I'll post this link to the study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.